Welcome back to our spring training special here on 7. Stoney is here.
How are you?
In the suit, my friend.
Well, I don't know if it's a suit, but it's a sport.
It's a sport
It's
coat.
better than you usually see me.
Yeah, that's true.
My schlubby attire every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.
Yeah, 6 to 10 a.m.,
Yes.
of course. The Tigers look different this year. They're going to look different for years to come. Different than we've seen them look for now a decade. How much should expectations change for this fan base for the next few years to come?
Oh, they should drastically change. I mean, here's a team that even last year you thought, a few things go right, they could contend. Now, if a few things go right, they'll be fortunate to get to 500.
Right.
That's how it's going to be. But you saw what happened to Houston. They were horrible for years and years and years and years, and lo and behold, they built it up and they won the World Series.
The Cubs, the Royals,
Yes.
even the Yankees to an extent have done what the Tigers are aiming to do.
The Twins did that under a certain manager, I think his name is Gardenhire, where they were horrible and they at least got to the playoffs a couple of times.
Here's my question with him. Taking this job, do you think by the time they actually do turn this around that he will still be the manager?
If they get to a point under him where, all right, we're almost there, then yes. But if they just have a bunch of young players who aren't developing and all that, then the answer is no.
It's going to be a tough time. It's going to be a very tough time. Tigers fans aren't used to this. When they call your show, like they do each and every summer, and start demanding changes with the closer role, and why did he throw Green in the 8th? He should have just kept him to his 3-out save. Do you expect those calls this summer as frequently as you've had them in the past?
Not as much as we've had in the past, because the ramifications aren't that big. Okay, yeah, it might game by game, yeah, but you're not going to sit there and say, oh my God, if they would have only won that game against the Angels where he didn't put Shane Green in time. This team is not going to be very good.
We say that now, but do fans know that? Will fans feel that in the heat of the moment when they're devoting their night to watching this team?
If they're going to devote their night to it, yeah, they're still going to get ticked off when the manager does something that they don't like. Sure. And not just the fans, goofs like me will be upset as well.
Second guessing on Twitter like you always do.
It's not just on Twitter, but it's second guessing. It's the beauty of baseball.
Right.
It's one of the things we have to look forward to this summer. Second guessing.
12 to 15 teams are rebuilding. The Tigers aren't going to be alone, so they're going to have games.
I mean, there are teams that are being sued by Major League Baseball Players Association for not even wanting to put a compelling product on the field.
So the argument that some of these guys have, and I get it, they're professionals, it's their job, they take pride in what they do.
Sure.
Hey, we're going to go out and compete, and guess what? We have Miguel Cabrera in there. And so many of the guys when we were down in Lakeland said, we have one of the best hitters in baseball history in our lineup.
Yes, you do.
We can do things. Do you buy it, though, that with all this youth around him, that he can be the leader that they can turn to, that he's never really been?
No, I don't think he's that type of guy. I mean, who knows what happens in the clubhouse when we're not allowed in there, but you just don't see him as that. It's a leader by example, but he's not a leader of a gung-ho type of guy. If he has a really good year, and Castellanos continues to ascend and a few other things, they'll be fun to watch maybe. The best thing that has to happen to this team, some of the best things is guys like Victor Martinez, you hope, have a really good year. And then by the trading deadline, there's a team that really needs them, and they can actually get some good prospects for them.
That was like the Francisco Liriano deal. I think Anthony Fennick wrote in the Free Press. Listen, enjoy this signing because he's a great asset to trade, and history proves that.
Because when I heard about the signing, it's a great point. I said, $4 million, which is not a lot of money, but why would you spend $4 million if you're a team that, Vegas has you at 68.5 wins is the over-under for the Tigers. So why would you invest $4 million just in a patchwork? But it's a great point. If he's decent, that's another asset you have.
He's been traded so many times in his career for valuable young assets that they can bring back if they can do it again. He found success under Ron Gardenhire in Minnesota, so if he can reinvent himself and even go to the bullpen this time around, yeah, you're right. The best thing that can happen to this team is that they can have
you want to try to be optimistic? Let's try to be optimistic.
We don't have to.
Well,
Al Avila's not.
No, I know, but let's see something that could happen. Well, not could happen, but if you're sitting there saying, because they always say every spring training, every team has a chance. No, they don't have a chance. But suppose Fulmer is really the ace. I mean, not just a real good pitcher, but the ace. And Norris gets his head together, and Zimmerman is healthy and is somewhat like he was in Washington. And all of a sudden you have a decent pitching staff, and Cabrera does have a bounce-back year. Like I said, Castellanos and a few things. Candelaria looks like a good player maybe. Then it'll be fun. See, the thing about baseball is if it's a beautiful day, still go out to the ballpark, sit back, have a few dogs, a beer, whatever, and you can still have a good time without the stress. It could be, and I always talk about Sundays when the Lions don't play, like on
Right.
Thanksgiving or on the bye week. It's an agita-free Sunday. We could have an agita-free summer. There's
'Cause it
no
doesn't matter,
expectations.
right.
It just doesn't matter.
They have the #1 overall pick from last year's season, where they had high
Hopefully, we won't
expectations.
see him for 2 years.
Right, and they've built pitching in their last few draft picks.
And they have the #1 pick in the draft this year.
Right, and so you hope for a while that they have those picks, they can build it up, and we're talking a few years in here, and you're saying it's World Series or bust, but that's not this year, and it's not anywhere close.
And it's not. If you remember back in the 90s and the 2000s, it was like this for a long time.
Yeah.
After the
Listen, growing up, Bobby Higginson was like my hero, because that's as good as it was around here.
I know that's pretty sad. I mean, we started talk radio in 1994. Then there was a strike, and there's a whole generation up until 2006. The Tigers were horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, from '88 really, till 2006, this team was nothing.
We thank you very much for coming by, man.
Anytime.
Always good to see you.
Now you have to just get up at 6 a.m. and listen to me.
I will.
All right.
I do.
I know, because your baby gets up
He's
early.
a big Jamie and Stoney fan.
Oh, he should be.
6 to 10
I helped
a.m.
clothe him.
97 won the ticket. You did. Bruce Springsteen gear.